Thanks for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. We begin this hour with breaking news. According to Spokane police, one person has been shot on the 2400 block of East Sprague Avenue. Not much is known about this incident at the top of the hour right now, but we're continuing to work on getting more details for you tonight. We do have news crews on the way out there to get us more details, and we'll update you as soon as we know more. And for the very latest, check back in for KREM 2 News at 11, as well as our website. That is, of course, KREM.com for the latest on this incident. New tonight, Spokane police arrested a man accused of giving underage girls alcohol, vape pens, and cash in exchange for sex. 48-year-old Alvin Allen faces several charges, including child rape. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk looks into the investigation and how police were tipped off.
48-year-old Alvin Allen was arrested Thursday, but had been on the radar of detectives since March, when a 15-year-old girl told her mom she'd been in a months-long sexual relationship with him. According to court documents, the teen told Spokane police she met Allen through a classmate who said he'd give her alcohol, vape pens, and cash in exchange for sex. Police found dozens of texts between Allen and the girl dating back to last October, according to court docs. The teen said they met for sex every week or two for 5 to 6 months. Once the teen came forward, she was taken to the hospital to complete a sexual assault kit. When it was tested at the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab this July, investigators found a DNA profile already in their system. Court docs say it belonged to Allen. The 48-year-old was ordered to provide a DNA sample in 2011 after pleading guilty to communication with a minor for immoral purposes and fourth-degree assault with sexual motivation. Allen was accused of molesting a girl when she was between 6 and 10 years old. By entering a guilty plea, charges were reduced, and Allen was released from jail with credit for time served. Years later, Allen was arrested and charged with raping a woman in Coeur d'Alene, but a jury found him not guilty in 2019. He now faces 5 counts of commercial sex abuse of a minor, 5 counts of child rape in the 3rd degree, and 2 counts of communication with a minor for immoral purposes. A judge Friday afternoon set Allen's bond at $100,000. He remains in jail and is scheduled to be arraigned October 31st. In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. Let's go right down to Nightbeat for a quick look at the day's top stories. Eastern Washington University police investigating tonight after a man was accused of threatening to shoot people on campus and allegedly using racial slurs towards students. Police say the man was gathering signatures on the Eastern campus when an intense argument broke out with a group of students. Police are working to identify him. He's described as a white, heavy-set man with long reddish blonde hair and a red beard. He was reportedly wearing a Gonzaga shirt.
When the first time he woke up, he started pulling hoses and tubes out of him and said, "I've got things to do." And it's like, whoa, hold on. And so he's been trying to get, back to where he is, but it's a long road to recovery. He's not out of the woods by any means.
A Spokane artist shot last month in New Mexico continues to recover tonight. 39-year-old Jacob Johns was shot after a fight broke out during a protest over a statue of a conquistador. He's been in an Albuquerque hospital ever since. Tonight, a fundraiser took place to raise money for his medical bills. And the Garland District's Blue Door Theater's moving to a new home. The Improv Group will take over the Old Milk Bottle Building in downtown Spokane. Due to high demand, they plan to renovate the building to give them enough theater space to seat 90 people. The new building will also allow them to host additional improv classes. The group plans to perform their first show in their new space on January 5th. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, head to our website, KREM.com. In the upcoming general election, Spokane voters will decide if they want to ban camping within 1,000 feet of parks, schools, and daycares. Proposition 1 would enact a new camping ordinance in Spokane. Eastern Washington University professor Robert Sodders wanted to see what areas of the camping ban would cover in the city. He came up with this interactive map. The areas in color are where camping is prohibited. The areas in gray are where it would be allowed. He noticed the ban applies to most of the downtown core, which he found troubling.
That is where we as a city have often positioned our resources that are there to assist people who are experiencing homelessness. So trying to move people further away from those resources didn't exactly make sense to me.
He says based on his data, the camping ban covers 65% of the city if you don't include the Spokane airport. He notes that his map also does not include the city's already established camping restrictions near rivers, railroad viaducts, and within 3 blocks of shelters. Across the state line, the state's Secretary of State Phil McGrain toured the Kootenai County Elections Office ahead of the November election. He says the purpose of the tours to share best practices and find out what support North Idaho counties need from the state when it comes to running elections. Election staff showed new counting machines that'll be used for the public for the first time next week when early voting begins. Well, tonight, 2 Americans are on their way back to their family after being freed from Hamas in Gaza. Take a look right now. These are new photos that show the Chicago area mother and daughter walking free for the first time since October 7th. They were abducted along with about 200 others during the first hours of the attack on Israel. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the women are now with Israeli authorities and will be seen by the U.S. Embassy. He added that more Americans are still missing tonight.
We share in the relief that their families, friends, and loved ones are feeling. But there are still 10 additional Americans who remain unaccounted for in this conflict.
The closed border crossing with Egypt's also preventing about 500 American citizens who remain stranded inside Gaza from leaving. In the meantime, another weekend and still no new Speaker of the House after Congressman Jim Jordan lost another vote on the House floor to take charge of the gavel. Even former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy admits the House GOP conference is broken. In a last-minute bid to save Jordan's candidacy, 7 of the 8 Republicans who voted to oust McCarthy agreed to be reprimanded by their GOP colleagues if the Jordan holdouts would change their votes.
If what these holdouts need is a pound of our flesh, we're willing to give it to them in order to see them elect Jim Jordan for Speaker.
I will not vote for Jim Jordan. It used to be that I was voting for McCarthy. Now I'm not voting for Jim Jordan.
Lawmakers are going home for the weekend before starting the process all over again on Monday. In Northwest News right now, federal regulators approved a natural gas pipeline expansion project spanning across the Northwest. The gas transmission Northwest Express pipeline goes through Idaho, Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. The decision from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission will allow Calgary-based TC Energy to expand the line. TC says it needs to expand the pipeline to meet consumer demand. Environmental groups argued against the project. Governor Jay Inslee sent out a strong statement against the decision, saying in part, quote, expanding this fossil fuel pipeline for 50 years until 2083 saddles our children and their children with climate harm and fossil fuel costs. This fight isn't over, end quote. Want to be a millionaire? Well, in just a few hours, tickets for the annual Idaho $1 Million Raffle go on sale. And new this year, you'll have 2 chances to win $1 million. Plus dozens more prizes between $15,000 and $10,000. You can check out all the prizes at idaholottery.com. Again, tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock. Tickets will be on sale until December 26th or until they sell out. The winners will be announced December 27th. Now, if you're planning on playing, you are encouraged to get your tickets as soon as possible. In the meantime, it seems like we won the lottery when it comes to our forecast this weekend, but things look to change in a big way. To get us ready, we've got meteorologist Tom Sherry in the Weather Center tonight.
Yeah, it was another fabulous day today with highs in the mid-70s. And now we're tracking one more mild day on Saturday. And then it all gets back to normal October weather. We'll look for rain to develop Sunday and then cooler temperatures next week with the chance of more rain showers. We've cooled it off to 53 degrees, but not much in the wind department. 3-mile-per-hour winds. So 70 expected on Saturday with increasing clouds. We'll look for cooler weather with a chance of a few showers, especially to the south of us. Look for a daytime high of 60. Better chance of more widespread showers on Monday, and then shooting for a daytime high of 58. I'll tell you what to expect for the rest of the work week with a look at your 10-day outlook. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Tom, thank you so much. And that was also your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.